So welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to have a little different format. I'm going to do a little story. Being a photographer, everybody thinks, you're just pushing a button, you're just taking a picture, you're out shooting a wedding, or you're taking pictures of pretty models, or whatever the case may be. But by the time I'm done with this story, you'll see that everything isn't all roses. So listen to this. So anyway, back in 1992, we had started a company called Hollywood Creations. We were doing in-home glamour parties, kind of like you may be familiar with glamour shots at the mall. We were doing that, except we were doing it at people's homes. Now, me and one of my friends figured, we can probably make a couple $1,000s a month extra doing this. Well, a few months later, we were having $10,000 days. At one point, we had, I believe it was 30 employees in 2 different states. We just had more than we knew what to do with. It just blew up so fast. We did a lot of traveling because our main office was based out of Jonesboro, Georgia. But we had a lot of business in Florida, and we had a lot of business in Greenville, South Carolina. So we were looking at putting an office in between. It was either between Orlando or Charlotte on up to Gastonia, that area. That way we could cover Greenville from Atlanta or cover Greenville from Gastonia. Well, we ended up putting the second office in Gastonia, North Carolina. My wife was doing makeup. A few other girls were there doing hair and makeup. And I don't think I was shooting the pictures, but I was there. I didn't always shoot the pictures. I just went to a lot of the parties to make sure everything was going good and make sure everybody had what they needed. And this is back when we shot film, make sure everybody had enough film and everything, so on and so forth. So anyway, we were shooting this glamour party. Wasn't nothing out of the ordinary. And toward the end, one of the girls walked to me. She's a pretty girl. I guess she was probably 23. I'm guessing completely. I have no idea, but I would say probably 23. And she said, "Do you do pictures on the side?" And I said, "Yeah, I shoot on the side." I said, "You're in Greenville?" And I said, "I'm in Atlanta, but I'm up here a lot. We can do it." She said, "Well, would you take some of me?" I said, "Well, sure. Where do you want to go, to a park, or what kind of pictures do you want to do?" And she said, "Well, I'm a dancer." And I thought, okay, it's fine. She said, "I'd really like to do my pictures just around the house, some sexy pictures of me." And I said, that's fine. It's not a problem. So we set it up. And I guess maybe about a month later, me and my wife went back up there. My wife did her hair and makeup. Then when it came time for the pictures, my wife, I think she probably went to the mall. Back, in the early 90s, the mall was a place to be. So it was just me and her shooting pictures. And I had asked her beforehand. I said, "Now, before we shoot these pictures," I said, "is your husband okay with it, or your boyfriend okay with it, or whatever the case may be?" She's like, "Oh, yeah, my boyfriend, he's completely fine with it. Don't worry." Famous last words. "Don't you worry about that. Nothing to worry about there. You just forget about that." So anyway, we're shooting, or I'm shooting, and I hear this car come flying up. And, you can hear a car coming in the driveway, and then you can hear a car coming in the driveway. So that's what I have, was the car in the driveway. And slammed the door, almost kicked in the front door. And I thought, oh no, there's this happy boyfriend that doesn't mind what she's doing. So he goes to the back, and I'm looking down the hallway, and I see him open the top drawer of the Chester drawers, and he lays out a pistol on top of it. I'm like, oh gosh, this is not good at all. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, "Hey, you said he was fine with all this." She's like, "Oh, I'll talk to him. It'll be okay." So she goes back there and talks to him. And by then, he's already pulled out a second gun and laid it on top of the Chester drawers. And by now, I'm thinking, I just want to leave. This was no big deal to me. I was just doing it for some money. Now I've got a dude back there that's loading 2 guns. He's probably going to try to shoot me. So she comes back out and said, "I think he'll be okay." I'm like, "You think he'll be okay? That's good, because I know he's got at least 2 guns back there." So had me worried. I was a little bit stressed, to be quite honest with you. And my wife, I had a car phone then, one of those old bag phones that cost like $1 a minute. I tried to call her from the girl's house, but the phone was in the car, and I guess she was in the mall. So it took me some time to get in touch with her. She was coming back to meet me at a preset time. So anyway, the guy comes up there, says a few words to me, slams the door and leaves. Thank goodness he didn't shoot me. But I told her, I said, "Why? I asked you ahead of time if this was going to be an issue." She's like, "Oh, no, it wasn't an issue." She said, "I told you it would be fine." I'm like, "Well, in my book, that's not really fine when a boyfriend is mad and basically kicks down the front door and comes in and starts loading his guns, and I'm in there taking pictures of you." But I tell you, being in this business over 40 years, we have seen some stuff. Now, I got lucky that day. The rest of the shoot went fine. It was all good. He never came back. I think I mailed her pictures. I don't even think I made a second trip up there. I didn't have any reason to go back up there again. But we did a lot of work up around the Greenville area. There were some salons and different people. We were either going from Jonesboro to Greenville or from Gastonia to Greenville. There was a lot of work in Greenville. We probably should have just put an office in Greenville. but we didn't. I wanted to be further because we also had clients up in Charlotte and that area in Raleigh. So we figured, you know, it's close enough to drive from Gastonia down to Greenville, not a big deal. So it just made our drives to Florida longer because we drove down to Florida. We didn't have an office per se, so we had to take a trip. I know, I remember one time me and about 8 or 9 of us took a trip down to Port St. Lucie. It was spring training. I think it was March, might have been late February. And as we were leaving up here in Georgia, I think it was 1992 also, snow was coming in. Well, anyway, by the time we got down to Florida, the snow in Georgia had turned into some kind of crazy blizzard. I had called family back and nobody had power, and my uncle lived up in the mountains and he had snow up to his windows. So we have come into some crazy stuff traveling, and I have all kinds of crazy stories. If you guys want to hear some stories, let me know down below. I can tell you stories all day long about craziness that had happened. But I really thought that day, I thought, this guy's going to kill me. He's got 2 fully loaded guns back there. He's obviously got a bad temper. And here I am just shooting pictures of his girlfriend. But thank goodness he left. Nobody got killed. That worked out good for me. But yeah, we've been in some crazy situations. I got one of my best friends ever, James. He's a photographer like me. We've worked together 4 years. And me and him, we've been on some model shoots. We've been in some crazy situations. We've gotten caught in hurricanes in Cancun. By hurricanes, I mean 225-mile-an-hour wind hurricanes, Hurricane Mitch, that killed 15,000 people in Honduras. We've gotten kicked off of islands. We've gotten, you name it, we've pretty much been through it. So we've got lots of stories. Man, I tell you, we had, since this story was about me almost getting shot, we had done a party in Jonesboro, Georgia, Riverdale actually. I don't know how many of you know where that is. We're about 20 minutes radius of Atlanta. She had came to the party and had her hair and makeup done and went home. But her husband was so jealous and so angry that she had her hair and makeup done that he killed her during that week before she could come back and see her pictures. He was so jealous and outraged that she had her hair and makeup done that he literally killed her. I mean, it's just hard to fathom what some people have going on in their heads. You know, you wake up every day and you think, well, I live in a safe neighborhood, everything's good, but you never know what you're going to run into during the day. It just, you know, what people are thinking. You never know what somebody's thinking. And that can be a little bit dangerous. Like me, I probably shouldn't have taken that girl's pictures to start with, but I was 21, 22, and I was just making money, just doing what I do, take pictures. You know, we had no control over the lady that had her glamour pictures done, then her husband got furious and just killed her. That was sad, but we've been through a lot. Some of it's funny, some of it's crazy, some of it's hilarious. But there's a story, and if you guys want to hear some more stories, just let me know. Y'all might have already all tuned out of this as it is. I don't have any idea, but hopefully you're getting a kick out of it like me. And if you want to hear some more stories, we got plenty of them. I got 40 years worth of photography stories I can tell you guys. So if you guys want to hear more, just let me know. And hey, if we're helping you guys out, for helping you out, don't do a dancer's pictures when she says it's fine with her boyfriend until you meet the boyfriend and ask him yourself. But anyway, with that said, y'all hit that subscribe button. Have a good day. Hey guys, I just want to take this second of your time. If you guys would please hit like and subscribe, it would go a long ways toward helping our channel and help us keep making these videos. Thank you.